At
Something
least,
about like best in everybody, yet I'm always disappointed, or it's like something like along those lines. And it's like, who hurt you, honey?
all right, and it is time for another episode of Cash's Top 5. I'm joined today by my friend Larra Overton. Hello.
Hi. This at one point was called Worst of Friends when we talked about doing this podcast months and months ago, because I am the notorious friend that has a lot of opinions on a lot of things, and most of them are negative. So
Yeah, whenever we get together, we really sound like grumpy old people that are just shaking our fists at youth and everyone in general.
we really do. We really do. It's funny because you can attest to I'm overall a pretty like jovial, positive person, but I
You're the
have
smiliest person I've ever met.
but I have very definitive opinions on things. Like
Yes.
I'm very clear cut things I like and do not like. I don't have a whole lot of things that I'm just, very apathetic about.
Right. Well, and that's why we have a perfect list today. It's our top 5 most annoying online habits that people offend with every day. I'm so excited to hear your list because I know whittling it down to 5 was probably a challenge, right?
Well, there are a lot of things in general, but Tugboat, my dog, my 160-pound English Mastiff, who turns 3 next week, is over here looking out the window, watching people walk outside because it is an unseasonably nice day. So
Yeah.
he's weighing in with his opinions. He's growling and he's not an aggressive dog. He just likes to be sure he voices when people walk by. Yes. So I'm going kind of off the top of my head because there are a lot of things that I was like bouncing around between. So I have 5. I'm going to see what order they come out in, but it's funny because you and I have experienced the like great evolution of social media and how
Mhm.
Facebook used to be pretty just college based, and it was something that like literally your friends were
Yeah.
on. Then Twitter started, and that was mostly journalists and media people and information, and then that took on, and then nowhere in the spectrum was Instagram and Snapchat and all of those things. So we have experienced the entire, I mean, first and foremost, front hand, especially working in media, how this whole thing has taken on a life of its own.
Yeah, and there are so many people on using social media that shouldn't. They should not be allowed to say the crazy things and do the crazy things that they do. But that's how it is. Facebook, like you said, back in the day, it was just college kids. It was fun. It was cool. You have a party on the weekend. You upload all the photos the next day
Oh
on
my
your
God.
digital
Dude, like
camera.
Sunday, you would just like, at least I would, like, I would put on NFL games and I would watch football, and you would scroll and you'd be like, who was at what party? Who was with who?
Hmm.
It was like hysterical, especially when you're, college age. And those are the things that you feel like are really, really important. The other thing about social media, especially Instagram, is it has given everyone the platform to think that they are a celebrity and that they have
Yes.
their own paparazzi.
Yes.
Like everyone thinks that they are Kim Kardashian because they have an Instagram account.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Well, that's a perfect lead in to the list. Let's go ahead and get started. These are our top 5 most offensive online habits that people commit every day. What do you have for number 5?
So I'm going to start with any form of a photo collage. Do not come with like a 9 grid photo collage on something, like where it comes into a square and all the photos are this small. Like that is why you can upload a series of photos now on a post. Like pick 5. I don't need 19 photos and you and your best gal pals on every Daytona Beach trip that you've taken since 1999, like just
Uh-huh.
select a handful. The other thing is, how often and it's usually like girls celebrating other friends, like birthdays, like the birthday posts are like an entire, we can do a podcast on those themselves. So I'm just
Yeah.
going to go on the grid, the photo collage, like just pick a few in a series or whatever. Just pick your favorite. Like, let's be selective, people. If you need, instructions on how to be decisive, I'm your person. I can help you there. But the other thing is how frequently do people use posts like a happy birthday post for someone else but it's really just a platform for them to post the best, most flattering photos of themselves. I just
Yes.
saw this the other. It's like not a great photo of the person whose birthday it was, but the person who was like, "Happy birthday to my bestie." You know, it was like
They
the
hit the
best.
sorority pose, their makeup is flawless. It's like, no, here's 8 pictures of where I look good, and also my friend happens to be in it.
That's exactly what it is. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. Also, just like pick a few, pick a handful, and like if you truly are wanting to celebrate this person,
Mhm.
like say something, say something nice, whatever it is. Don't use the caption to just rehash your, last decade of memories together. Like, if you know, PCB 2014.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get to if you know, you know here a little later on in the discussion. Does it real quick before we move on? Does it bother you when they post the collage and they don't crop out the watermark of pick collage or photo grid, or you know what I'm talking about? Like,
Just
don't
watch
leave.
the ad. It's a 15-second ad, and then you can wipe that away. So you get around
Yes,
it all together. Just don't do a collage. Just don't. Just
that,
don't
good point.
collage yourself. But yes,
Good
yes,
point.
it does. And I mean, that's probably if I go back to when I started my Instagram account 10 years ago, that's probably something that I did. So I'm guilty of this. Like I probably had a watermark on something, but you know, that
Yeah,
was
but
also that was also when like I thought it was just a photo editing like platform. I didn't know everything actually like posted to anywhere. So
yeah, but that's because it didn't originally. You couldn't automatically post it to another platform. It was literally just an online photo album, and
yeah.
all the Mayfair filter you can handle. It's all dark and brown and tan and golden. Like there's so many. Yeah,
Like
Instagram could be its
everyone
own.
wants to be Ansel Adams. Like they really thought, like, ooh, this street sign. Let's do it. You know,
Yeah.
if you didn't
Okay.
have a street sign picture that was overly filtered, you do not know OG Instagram.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so that's a really strong start. I love your number 5, and I can't wait to hear the next 4. My number 5 most annoying online habit is anyone who takes time to announce that they're taking a break from social media. You know, like, hey guys, hey everybody, I can't handle this anymore. I just want to let you know, peace out with the 2 emoji. I'm taking a break. I'm done from here. We don't care.
Right.
Just go. You
Yeah.
know, you're not that important. You know, if you really wanted to let people know, you might send a message, like text your friends, like, hey,
Yeah.
if you want to reach me, this is the best way to reach me. If you're trying to, I don't want to offend you if you're trying to message me and I don't respond, but a whole holier than thou,
Yeah.
just this real long post about why you're leaving, just shut up.
So on a similar note, I had this happen recently where I have a friend, a non-famous person who made a proclamation on social media. And I wish that I'd saved the post because I want to know how she phrased it. But it was like she and her husband are getting divorced, and she made a post about it on Instagram. But it was like that. What was the conscious uncoupling? Like who did that? What celebrity couple had like the conscious uncoupling is how they like phrased it. It's like, no, you just broke up. And like
Yeah.
it's one thing if you have to put a statement out because your publicist is like, okay, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, you're gonna have to come out with a statement. Like, not for just regular people. Like, you don't need to blast that on our social media that you and the father of your children, and you're making this all like a social media like thing. So, kind of a same thing. Like, we're on a
Yeah.
break. Like, I just need to let everyone know. Like, that seems like a pretty personal thing. Like, maybe you just like tell some people and you don't make like a story like with a rainbow background in Comic Sans.
My favorite part is on Facebook when it announces that you're now single and like a grandma doesn't know better and she'll like it. It's
Oh,
like, no, they broke up. It's not happy times, but grandma doesn't care.
the reactions on Facebook are just like a real problem altogether. I can't like tell you how many times like I've gone to like, comment on like, like something awful, someone's like, oh, lost my dog, like had to put the dog down or whatever. And I go
Yeah.
to like make a comment, but instead I put in the laughing response and it's like, undo. I like, that's not what I meant. No, like,
Yeah.
or when you send a text with the wrong emojis, like that we're getting off of social media now, but um I accidentally sent a like kiss emoji to a colleague that was supposed to be like the laughing emoji, but like in like I had fat thumbs or whatever and got
Yeah.
sloppy. And so it was like, I'm like,
Whoops. Nope. Sorry.
track delete, sorry. And then I was like, LOL, insert this. So yeah.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of that, one thing I've picked up doing, since I'm going to blast other people's habits, I have to call myself out because I am always smiling, as we discussed early on. Like that's how I engage with people. Like I pass by like strangers, and I'm like, "Hi." Well, now wearing masks, I've picked up the reaction instead of smiling. Because I'm like, "Oh, they can't tell that I'm happy and excited to see them." So I wink at people now, and I'm
Oh
quite
no.
sure that I'm headed to like someone's going to call me in the HR office and be like, "Did you happen to, wink at the guy who runs the equipment room? Like, you like what?" Because and I have to stop. I'm like consciously trying to stop myself from doing it because it's this weird thing where like usually I'll say hi, but at work we're all in like the masks and everything, but you want to be friendly and you don't want to feel like you're unapproachable and so, but you have to
Yeah.
stay 6 feet away. And so I'm either winking or waving at people obnoxiously as I pass them.
So you really are turning into a grandpa. You're angry at everything and you're now a winker. That's not good.
No,
No.
not at all. Not at all. And like I'm the winker that makes people uncomfortable because they are not sure why. It's like what? Like, what was that? Like, was that were you coming on to me? Or it's like
Yeah.
something that I don't know that you know. You're winking because I have like schmutz on my face that you probably yeah, it's like so now I resorted to now in 2020, I just make people uncomfortable. That's who I am. I'm Lara. That's what I do.
I support that 100%. I think more people should be uncomfortable. So, okay, let's keep it rolling. We are on number 4 for you. What's your number 4 most annoying online habit?
So this is one where I kind of fluctuated on where it goes. I had trouble with the order, but one of them is that so being someone who's like public on Twitter, with my job, you post a lot of your work, your stories, your interviews, whatever it is. And my favorite is when I'll get like a hateful comment, like, you know, you're such an idiot. What a dumb question. You dress like a slut. Or my favorite was like one time last year, I joked with Quentin Nelson because so for those who don't know, my full-time job is with the Indianapolis Colts and I'm a reporter for the team. And Quentin had started wearing the wear the damn ball hat. And he bought them for like everybody in the locker room. So I was like, hey, you started wearing the run the damn ball hat. You made sure every guy in the locker room who wanted one had one. I talked to Coach Reich, and you've been in his ear telling him to like keep calling the running plays when the offense have been on the sideline. Like you're in his ear, like telling
Yeah.
him what to do, asking what to call. And I said, are you the biggest cheerleader for this rushing attack? Because that's like Marlon Mack was going for like 1,000-yard
Sure.
season and all that. And he like straight faced goes, I wouldn't say cheerleader. And then kind of like laughs it off. And I was like, advocate, proponent, supporter, like to answer the
Right.
question. So I get a comment, like one response is like, would be a woman to ask Quentin Nelson about being a cheerleader, this and that. And I'm like, okay,
Ugh.
come on. So my favorite though is when I get the comments like that. And so I'll look at the person's profile and it's always like proud father of 3, Christian, God first, or like all of these like things where it's like, love my wife, or like all of these things where it's, telling you how great of a person they are, but their comment on your page is something about you're an idiot, you dress like a slut, don't deserve to be in the job you're in. So that's one of my things is people who say like really hateful things, and then you go to their own profile and they present themselves as like it's literally like a photo of them like Olin Mills style with like their children on their laps, like looking incredibly wholesome. Yet they're
Yeah.
just throwing all the shade, throwing all the darts on social media, coming at you, saying like the worst things, trying to tear you down.
So just general hypocritical assholery is
I think just
your
presenting yourself as like someone who is so wonderful and genuine
And
and has all these
moral.
incredible values and
Yeah.
morals, but then you take to social media to try to tear someone else down. Like that's something that that's something I really.
Yeah. Keyboard warriors, man. They didn't make my top 5, but that's a really good one.
If you're gonna be, I'm just gonna say butthead. If you're gonna be a butthead, own your buttheadedness. Like just be that. Like be
You
like,
should claim it. Yeah.
like just Jim Butthead Indianapolis. Like, just like embrace that. Like, don't tell me you're something else in your presentation of self.
Yeah. That's a good one. I can't argue with that. My number 4 for you, I have a feeling you're going to agree with. It's kind of staying along the lines of Facebook, and I guess it could be true for any platform, but the term vague booking, are you familiar?
No.
So vague booking is posting something that is mysterious.
Oh, like just some quote like that's yes, yes. Okay, I'm here
Like
now. I
clearly
like
something is wrong with that person, but they're not saying what it is, or they're
yes.
like addressing somebody like, you know what you did, how could you do this to me, blah 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 blah. They haven't tagged anybody,
Yeah.
it's for public consumption, we shouldn't be knowing this stuff. Or I will kind of put in with this one, a friend of mine, she mentioned it to me a while back, and I've always remembered it when I see it, when somebody posts a hospital wristband with just like, clearly you just want attention.
Yes.
So
Yes.
any kind of vague booking where it's so melodramatic, but there's no real explanation to what's going on, and it
Yes.
seems like it's awfully personal. It's like, I don't want to know your business like that.
Yeah.
And if you're going to put it
Or
out there,
like
at
something
least
about like, I always look for the best in everybody, yet I'm always disappointed, or it's like something like along those lines. And it's like, who hurt you, honey? Like just
yeah.
yeah, like just call them out, like address. Yes, vague booking. I love that phrase. I did not know that one.
Yeah. Do a Google search in your free time for some really good ones, because sometimes there's usually very funny responses
Oh yeah.
to vague booking, because, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's just people acting like children online.
Oh, for
Uh,
sure.
yeah. So,
That's
okay.
funny.
So for you so far, your top 5, number 5, you had Collage Pictures, which is hilarious. Hypocritical buttheads who do not own or claim their buttheadedness. What do you have at number 3?
I am going to go with, and I feel like this is a real chronic problem among a lot of my friends, posting a succession of stories on Instagram and trying to find a photo for, or not a photo, a song, like now that they have the song feature, like a song that goes with everyone. And it's like Instagram stories are not the soundtrack of your life. Like it's like
Oh
a picture of
man.
their child and it's like always be my baby. And then like a picture of them in the office and it's like working 9 to 5. And then it's like then the next one is like, them with like a cocktail on the back porch and it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Like, no, if you like, do not post more than 2 stories back to back that add the song feature. This is not your soundtrack. Like, it's a fun feature to use from time to time, but people get try to be way too cute and way too witty with it. And it drives me bonkers.
That is so specific. I don't know that I've ever seen that. I probably have and just
You
didn't
need
really
to
pick up
follow
on it.
more moms. Follow more moms and you will see it. I will let you just take over my account one day.
I was going to say, I'll do that. I'm not going to go follow more moms. That just seems creepy. But yeah, no, that's that's so because I will admit I've done that, but I don't think I've ever, like, I never have, like, when I do Instagram stories, it's a long dash and a long dash. It's never dash 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 dash, like where
Oh,
there's a million of them. I
no,
don't do that in general, so I can't say
absolutely.
I've, but I definitely do every once in a while. I like to put a song, but you're
Yeah.
saying it's perfectly curated to an annoying level.
Oh, it's like way too specific where you found like this, like I'm even, I need to go back. I should like, could totally call out a couple people right now and just go directly to their profiles and find it. But yeah, it's a whole thing. It is a whole thing.
Another good one. We're moving along. I've got a good one, I think, for you for number three, because my first two were more Facebook related, and these aren't platform specific.
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of are on multiple. This is an Instagram one usually. Empty plates. Somebody ate dinner and then took a picture of their empty plate. Like
Yeah.
it's just the T-bone, the steak is gone. It's just the T-bone.
Right.
Take a picture of that, like, oh, delicious meal. I didn't take a picture. I'm like, well, then you don't need to take a picture of the empty plate, bro.
Pictures of food in general, for the most part, it's like it is overdone. Like yes, there needs to be like a level of selectivity on photos with food. So
Yes, because I used to be against it, but now I'm like, no, if somebody like made a really nice, aesthetically pleasing, good-looking meal and they're posting it, or if somebody like my cousin, she's a professional baker.
oh,
So
that's
she'll
awesome.
post, yeah,
Yeah.
so she'll post
Well,
pictures
it's
of
like
cupcakes and stuff.
if
That's
it's
fine.
supporting, my thing is too, is like if it's supporting places, like that's cool. But like I have an offender who it's like she'll post the Blue Apron meal she made that night. And it's like, hey, I
Oh,
don't
so you
need to
heated it
see.
up?
Yeah, it's like your chicken breast and risotto and the asparagus that they delivered to your front door. Hey, we don't like, we get it. Unless you're endorsed by Blue Apron, and if so, good for you. But I don't
Yeah.
think your 314 followers are helping you get that, blue check and your blue apron endorsement deal.
And I like the opposite, not the Blue Apron. It's somebody that on a paper plate, they've got chicken nuggets and Kraft mac and cheese. And they're like, oh, I just threw down in the kitchen, man. I had to take a picture. I'm like,
I
okay.
kind of love those people though, because again, they're like owning it. Like just own it. Just like own what you are. That's kind of hilarious though. That's pretty hilarious.
Okay. So we're approaching both of our top twos, and we've already been very petty, and
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. What do you have? What's your number two most annoying online habit?
So this is one that I'm going to preface where like there's a lot of good on social media, and it is a cool place to share like good things that you witness or experience or different things. I have a real problem with people who do good deeds and then go to talk about them on their social media. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen like someone who gets in their car and they'll do a story where they're like, I was leaving name restaurant and I had a carry out. I had extra food and I saw this, I
Yeah.
saw someone outside in need. So I gave it to them. Just do the good deed. Do the good deed and don't need to tell anyone about it. Now, if someone else witnesses this and they post a picture like this is a really heartwarming moment, we've seen those all over the place, especially right now. Like whether it's, somebody just doing something good for someone else, that's okay to like witness it, but don't talk about yourself that way. Like I know people who go onto Twitter and they'll be like, walked into this place and bought meals for all of these people or whatever it is. There's just
Ugh.
uh, a lot of humble brag, and I don't even know if that's a humble brag, but that's just another annoying phrase. But I just I don't like that. Like
Yeah.
do the good things for the goodness of doing good things, not just so you can create some content and you know um, get all of the people to be like, you're the best. That's so kind of you.
Well, I think you're going to really love my pick for my number two because it's people who post about doing good deeds on social media.
Are you serious?
Exact same number two. Yeah, 100%. Now, I will offer a couple of caveats. One, the one that doesn't bother me that much is when somebody takes a pic. I'm tired of seeing pictures of coffee cups in general. So stop the Starbucks thing. Like, oh, they misspelled my name. Okay, got it.
Right.
But when they say like somebody paid for my drink, so I went ahead and paid it forward, I'm okay with that because they're putting it on somebody else. Somebody else started it. The,
Yeah,
the,
like
the nice
thank you
person
for
in
the
front of
person
me
of
paid for
yeah,
my drink.
sure.
Sharing that, I think, does spread some
Right. Okay
goodwill.
there.
Um, I'm not saying I love it, but I'm
Right.
okay with it. But you're right.
Yeah.
The people that say, I had a takeout bag and I gave it to the homeless person, or I saw somebody and I gave them a 50 or whatever. Yeah, no, thank you. If you're gonna do that, you should post that you saw somebody do that. because that way you're putting the goodwill that needs to be into the world. Like, we need more positivity. If
Yeah.
you say you saw somebody be a good Samaritan in that kind of way, great. When you make it about you, you're taking away and you're just bragging on yourself. And that's not
It,
okay.
completely. And I know multiple offenders of this. Here's the other thing too. I'm also going to say there's a caveat in this. If you see a good idea that you want to share, for example, I know a lot of people who put together, they'll have like a gallon size Ziploc bag that
Mhm.
they'll prepare, and it'll have like towelettes and hand sanitizers and deodorants and like maybe like a McDonald's gift card. Like they'll pre-pack those and then keep them in their car. So when they do see people, they hand them out. So like if you're posting like, hey, here's a great idea if you're looking for something to do, and you post like, here's 5 easy things. Each of these items was under $1. Here's something you can do. That I'm okay with. But the act of you're like, here, I'm going to take this video. Will you take this video for me of my
Yeah,
handing it out the window? That's where
that's not okay.
that's not okay.
No.
That's not okay.
Uh,
And
damn all these people doing good.
I know. I told you I was just going to come off very petty in this whole thing, and like
No,
wasn't sure I was going to come off, but
I guarantee you there are going to be people that watch this that are like, yep,
yeah.
yep, I totally
That's what
agree.
I told you at first. I was like, wait, are these the top 5 most annoying things that we do ourselves or that we're calling other people out about? I was like, because I'm sure I do plenty. I know I do plenty
Oh
of annoying
yeah.
things.
And I know I do too, and we'll talk about that because we are now at the number one spot. And just to recap for Lara, number 5, collages on Instagram, hypocritical buttheads who are keyboard warriors. We've got overly curated songs on Instagram stories, people who post overly braggadociously about doing good deeds. What do you have at number 1?
Any post or story or video that begins with, for all of you out there asking about, I don't care if that is your lip gloss, your skincare regimen, those, flawless new bangs you just got, where you get your eyebrows done, whatever. Don't start your videos saying that, because you know what? I didn't ask. And I bet you there may have been, how many people really asked? For all of you out there asking, your mom
You're
and your
saying
best friend.
you're saying they're making it up?
I'm saying that they're probably exaggerating a
I gotcha.
little bit. I have gotten so many DMs about this Lululemon. It's a crew neck boxy tee. You need it right now. Swipe up. It's so flattering.
Yeah.
Just just if you want to post about something, either respond directly to the person who asked, or just like post what it is, and just give me, like, spare me all of the nuance of, for all of those asking. So because you make yourself sound needlessly significant in this,
Yeah,
like
they're trying to
you're
portray themselves as a
gloriously
big
inflating
deal.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because let's
it's
be
like,
honest,
if you
they're
want to share something good, be like, hey, like, I just got this hat. I love it so much. It's a really cool fit. My buddy Jace has a company called Grungy Gentleman. I'm going to tag him right here. Like, if you want to check them out, kind of cool company, here it is. Like, you don't have to say, I have gotten so many messages from those of you asking.
because you can accomplish the same thing.
Right.
Yeah. No, you're right. Because nobody's in your DMs asking. Your DMs are full of creepy dudes who need to get a life, and that's it. It's not people wondering about your beauty regimen.
Or like, there's also a way. I mean, you can also record that video and send it directly to those people who ask.
Yeah, that's true.
You
Man.
not everything, like, be selective in what you put out there. Not everything has to be consumed by every single person that follows you. Like, you can do that little video, hey, all of you asked, and then just send it to them. Like, you can select the little dots in your direct message and go, these 7 people, do 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 do,
Oop,
and done.
send.
And yeah.
Okay, well,
I have gotten so many messages about how amazing I look in these leggings.
oh my God, that's so funny. That's so true. I'm really jealous of your top five because, and that's a really strong number one. I mean,
Thank you.
yeah, we're being very petty. And this one, my number one is kind of a cheat, I guess, because it's not just one thing. But I think you'll go with me on this. My number one for you, most offensive online habits, anything that becomes a fad or is beaten to death. And that will include the following phrases. So I did a thing, or so we did a thing, dot, dot, dot. That's it. That's the tweet. Ending a tweet with that is super annoying. Calling it the interwebs, or those are the same people that say sports ball. You're not clever.
Mhm.
Da 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 da. Asking for a friend. Stop it. Say it louder for the people in the back. Stop it. Something something hits different. Stop it. And if you know, you know, it's usually IFYKYK. If you know, you know, or you say something that's super virtue signaling and you know, very virtuous or self-righteous, and then you end it with welcome to my TED talk. Stop it. Just
And
stop it.
scene, and that. I love it. I love, love, love this. Yes. Like, and here's the thing too. You don't have to jump in on every challenge. Like,
Yes.
it's fun. If you have a really good one, like jump in from time to time. Don't see a challenge and then scour through. I mean, my phone probably has 9,000 pictures on it. Don't scour through. Oh, see, I told you my dog was gonna freak out.
Is he okay?
I think the mailman's here. I think that's what it is. Tugboat, what are you doing?
It's okay, buddy.
He just like jumped up like he'd been like shocked in his tush. It was hilarious. Um, he's fine now. Yes, totally. Yes. I love that one. I love that one altogether. I also one that did not make my list because I think a lot of people have called this out, but like another thing we could go with is like over videoing concerts just to say like I am here at this concert, and like you have 4.5 minutes on your story of Eric Church, you know, which I
Yeah.
love. Eric Church, I love. He's one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But if you're at, enjoy the concert, be there, experience it. If I wanted to watch the concert, I would have purchased a ticket for the concert.
That would be, I'm probably, of all the things we've talked about tonight, that's probably the one I'm guilty of. I will post,
You do
uh
like snippets, like yours are like
yeah,
15 to
I
20
wouldn't say I do very long. The one,
seconds.
anything that's super long is annoying, but also if there's 29 of them, it's
That's what I'm
snippet,
saying. Yes.
doomed. Like I'll do one or two because
And there's
I want to,
confetti falling at the top of the story because there's just like chiclets of yeah.
yeah, yeah, no, that's fair. Man, we are so mean and I
This
don't
is
care.
why the podcast was initially called Worst of Friends,
Worst of
because
friends, which we still can do. I very stupidly moved far away from Indianapolis, but
did you wait? I want to know, did Nikki come off this bad when you talked to our friend Nikki on the podcast?
no,
She's a
she.
lot funnier than I am and does not come off nearly as catty as I do.
I will say you guys are equal parts funny. Honestly, you're just in different. You're actually very similar, but with just different interests. Like you're very
Yeah.
sports, and she's, you know, you just have kind of.
She's so quick though. Like that's my thing with Nikki is she is so quick. It's so funny with what she does. And like
Yeah,
she's really funny in she can make fun of people in a way that you will laugh at yourself. Like she'll make fun of me or she'll make fun of you and it's funny. Like you're not offended by it when she like ribs you, right?
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't have that knack, but
Is it because
I can
you're
make
like,
fun
no,
of
I want you
myself.
to know that I don't like you for this reason? Although I don't know that, I don't know if that's true because again, we preface this whole thing by saying you really are like the most positive, nicest person. Like you're just always a big smile all the time.
Which
So
is
I
why I
think
now
that's what
wink
makes
at
it even
people while I'm wearing
funnier
a
when
mask.
you're do what?
Which is why I now wink at people when I'm wearing a mask
Yeah.
because I have to compensate for not being able
Well,
to smile.
to me, that's what makes it even funnier when you're annoyed by things because it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that bothers you. Like, it doesn't seem like things bother you, and you're like, no, there's like a volcano under here
There
of
truly is. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Like my husband keeps a list of all the things that I hate, and it grows. Like it's on his iPhone that he just keeps of things that I hate, like
yeah.
despise. Because again, I'm hot and cold on everything. I'm lukewarm on nothing.